Do men over 60 really need women in their lives, particularly when it comes to dating and relationships? This is a question that stirs up emotions, challenges societal norms, and forces us to confront some uncomfortable truths. Whether you're a man over 60, a woman curious about the dynamics of dating at this age, or simply someone interested in the evolving nature of relationships, I hope this speech sheds light on the realities, challenges, and possibilities of love and companionship in later life. Let's start by acknowledging the elephant in the room, the idea that men over 60, or anyone, for that matter, need a romantic partner is rooted in cultural expectations that don't always align with modern realities. For centuries, society has told us that a fulfilling life requires a partner, a soulmate, someone to share the journey. But as we age, and particularly for men over 60, the question becomes, is this still true? Or is it possible to live a rich, meaningful life without a romantic relationship? Let's dive into the harsh truths, the myths, and the realities of dating after 60. The changing landscape of life after 60. First, let's set the stage. Men over 60 today are not the same as their counterparts a generation ago. Thanks to advances in healthcare, nutrition, and lifestyle, men in their 60s and beyond are often healthier, more active, and more independent than ever before. Many are still working, pursuing hobbies, traveling, or even starting new ventures. The stereotype of the frail, retired grandfather sitting in a rocking chair is outdated. Today's 60-something man is often vibrant, engaged, and looking for ways to make the most of his later years. But with this newfound vitality comes a shift in priorities. For many men, the drive to find a romantic partner isn't as urgent as it was in their 20s or 30s. Back then, the desire for companionship, intimacy, or starting a family often fueled the pursuit of a relationship. Now, at 60 or older, those motivations may no longer apply. Children are grown, careers are winding down, and many men have already experienced long-term relationships, some fulfilling, others less so. So, the question arises, do these men need women in their lives to feel complete? The harsh truth number 1, need versus want. Let's get to the first harsh truth. Need is a strong word, and it's often misused when talking about relationships. No one, man or woman, young or old, needs a romantic partner to survive or thrive. Humans are resilient, and we can find fulfillment in many ways, through friendships, family, hobbies, personal growth, or even solitude. For men over 60, the idea of needing a woman often stems from societal pressure or lingering expectations from a bygone era, not from an actual necessity. That said, wanting a partner is different. Many men over 60 still crave companionship, intimacy, or the joy of sharing life's moments with someone special. But the key difference is that this desire is often more intentional and less driven by external pressures. Men in this age group are more likely to know what they want, and what they don't want, in a relationship. They're less likely to settle for a partner just to fill a void or meet societal expectations. The harsh truth number 2, the dating pool has changed. Now, let's talk about the dating landscape for men over 60. Another harsh truth is that dating at this age is not the same as it was in your 20s or 30s. The pool of potential partners has changed, and so have the dynamics. Many women over 60 are just as vibrant, independent, and selective as their male counterparts. They're not necessarily looking for a provider or a caretaker, they're looking for a partner who adds value to their already fulfilling lives. This shift can be challenging for men who are used to traditional gender roles. In the past, men were often expected to be the breadwinners, the protectors, or the decision-makers. But today, women over 60 are often financially independent, emotionally secure, and clear about their own goals. This means that men entering the dating scene after 60 need to bring more to the table than just stability. They need to offer emotional intelligence, shared interests, and genuine companionship. Another reality is that the dating pool is smaller. Some women in this age group may be widowed, divorced, or single by choice, but others may not be interested in dating at all. And let's not ignore the numbers, women tend to outlive men, which means there are often more women than men in this age group. While this might sound like an advantage for men, it also means that women have more options and can afford to be choosy. The harsh truth number 3, emotional baggage and self-reflection. By the time you reach 60, you've lived a full life. You've likely experienced love, loss, joy, and pain. This brings us to another harsh truth: both men and women over 60 come with emotional baggage. For men, this might include the scars of a difficult divorce, the grief of losing a spouse, or the weight of past mistakes. Dating after 60 requires a level of self-awareness and emotional maturity that younger daters might not need to navigate. If you're a man over 60 considering dating, you have to be honest with yourself. Are you ready to open your heart again? Are you willing to confront your own flaws and work on being a better partner? Too often, men and women enter the dating scene without doing this inner work, only to find that old patterns and unresolved issues sabotage their chances at a meaningful connection. On the flip side, women over 60 are also navigating their own emotional landscapes. They may have been hurt in the past or have clear boundaries about what they will and won't accept in a relationship. This means that successful dating after 60 requires mutual respect, patience, and a willingness to communicate openly. The harsh truth number 4, physical and sexual expectations. Let's address another sensitive topic: physical intimacy. For many men over 60, physical attraction and sexual compatibility are still important, but the reality is that bodies change with age. This can lead to insecurities or unrealistic expectations on both sides. Men might worry about their stamina, appearance, or health issues, while women might have their own concerns about aging and intimacy. The harsh truth here is that successful relationships after 60 often require a shift in perspective. Intimacy isn't just about physical attraction, it's about emotional connection, trust, and mutual respect. Couples who thrive in this stage of life often prioritize communication and understanding over idealized notions of romance or passion. That's not to say that physical intimacy isn't important, it absolutely can be, but it's often less about performance and more about connection. The harsh truth number 5, independence can be a double-edged sword. One of the most liberating aspects of life after 60 is the freedom that comes with it. Many men at this age have the time, resources, and confidence to live life on their terms. They might enjoy traveling solo, pursuing new hobbies, or spending time with friends and family. This independence is a gift, but it can also be a double-edged sword when it comes to dating. Some men find that they're perfectly content on their own. They've built a life that feels complete without a romantic partner, and the idea of compromising their freedom or routines for a relationship feels unappealing. This is a valid choice, and it's one that more men are embracing. But for those who do want a relationship, independence can make it harder to find a partner who's willing to blend their life with yours. Women over 60 are often just as independent, and merging two well-established lives requires effort, compromise, and flexibility. The harsh truth number 6, society's mixed messages. Society sends mixed messages about aging and relationships. On one hand, we're bombarded with images of silver singles finding love and living their best lives. On the other hand, there's a subtle stigma around older adults seeking romance, as if it's somehow frivolous or inappropriate. For men over 60, this can create a sense of confusion or pressure. Should you be out there dating? Should you be content with your own company? Are you too old to start over? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some men find immense joy in pursuing new relationships, while others find fulfillment in other areas of life. The key is to tune out society's noise and focus on what feels right for you. If you want to date, go for it. If you're happy on your own, that's just as valid. The path forward: dating with intention. So, where does this leave us? Do men over 60 really need women? The answer is no, not in the sense of necessity. But for those who want a relationship, the journey can be rewarding, challenging, and deeply fulfilling. Here are a few tips for navigating dating after 60. Know yourself, reflect on what you want from a relationship. Are you looking for companionship, adventure, or something deeper? Be honest about your goals and limitations. Embrace modern dating. Online dating platforms like Silver Singles or Our Time cater specifically to older adults. Don't be afraid to explore these options, but approach them with realistic expectations. Focus on connection, look for shared values, interests, and emotional compatibility. Chemistry is important, but a lasting relationship is built on mutual respect and understanding. Be open to growth. Dating after 60 often means stepping out of your comfort zone. Be willing to learn, adapt, and communicate openly with potential partners. Celebrate your independence. Whether you find a partner or not, remember that your worth isn't defined by your relationship status. A fulfilling life is one you create, with or without a partner. Conclusion. In closing, the question, do men over 60 really need women, isn't about need, it's about choice. Some men will find that a romantic relationship enhances their lives, bringing joy, companionship, and new experiences. Others will discover that they're perfectly content on their own, embracing the freedom and opportunities that come with this stage of life. Both paths are valid, and both can lead to a life well lived. The harsh truth is that dating after 60 isn't always easy, but it's not impossible either. It requires self-awareness, openness, and a willingness to embrace the complexities of modern relationships. Whether you choose to pursue love or savor your independence, the most important thing is to live authentically and make choices that align with who you are today. Thank you for listening, and I hope this has given you food for thought, whether you're navigating the dating world or simply reflecting on what matters most in this beautiful, complicated stage of life.